Hey, folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Alrighty, so this is a Shooting Up North podcast news update, and we have a KIller Kross AEW update to talk about, to report on. So, Tony Khan was actually on. Um, he was on the Click podcast, and he was asked about AEW's interest in KIller Kross. Now, before I read what Tony Khan stated, we all know that Tony Khan would be absolutely out of his mind if he wasn't interested in KIller Kross. Okay, I think it's fair to say that if Tony Khan wasn't interested in KIller Kross, he would be out of his mind. But here's what Tony Khan said about KIller Kross. He said, I have talked to KIller Kross before. He's a great guy. I love his voice. He's got a great voice. He's a great wrestler, a big, powerful, and fearsome guy. I am interested in him. He does great work, and he's a nice guy. I will be open to him coming in at some point. So this is actually from Fightful. I'm getting this from Fightful.com. Now, Fightful actually reported on May 25th that Kross was actually approached for the match against Wardlow, which ultimately went to W. Morrissey. But the two sides couldn't come to terms of an agreement on the appearance, and they decided again. Well, KIller Kross decided against it. So he was supposed to be the original opponent for Wardlow. So I'm thinking he would have he would have lost, of course, to Wardlow. So maybe I don't. That's actually the reason it's said here. Um, Okay, so this is Fightful Select reporting, where we've heard that talks fell apart as the date got closer. Kross became aware that his wife Scarlett would not be part of the presentation in All Elite Wrestling. Kross was concerned that his introduction to AEW audience would mimic that of his WWE debut against Jeff Hardy, as opposed to the successful NXT formula that helped lead him to do NXT championships. So I just wanted to read that, so there's no speculation or confusion as to why. He might have turned down wrestling Wardlow. So he said that, but I think possibly maybe losing to Wardlow might have had something to do with it as well. But Tony Khan saying that he'll be open. He'll be open to KIller Kross coming at some point. I'm sure they had talks. They did have to talk about the one appearance. I'm sure they had contract talks. Tony Khan would be absolutely nuts if he didn't have contract talks with KIller Kross. But personally, I think KIller Kross is going to he's holding out. I think he's going to sign a deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'd be very, very surprised if he wasn't in the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 tournament, which starts in July. I'd be very, very, very surprised if he wasn't a part of that tournament. I think he wants to sign with this is me speculating. Only KIller Kross knows what KIller Kross wants to do. But I think he's going to sign with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been on New Japan Pro Wrestling strong shows already. He's also making appearances in MLW, so I can see him New Japan Pro Wrestling signing a contract with them and continue the appearances with MLW. But hey, he may very well sign a contract with AEW as well. That's again, that's only KIller Kross knows. But it seems like KIller Kross wants Scarlett to be involved with him if he goes to All Elite Wrestling. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, the latest update is Tony Khan says that he's talked to KIller Kross, thinks he's a great guy, and he would be open to him coming in at some point. That's something that anybody in the wrestling world could have said about Tony Khan, right? Of course, Tony Khan is interested. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that. That's the update on KIller Kross and Tony Khan. I'm sorry, KIller Kross and AEW, I should say. Gonna leave it at that for now. Anything else breaks, of course, I'll be back. I'm home all day. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.